Ruth Ann McKinnon here. I'm with a little bit different of a filming setup today, and it's only temporary, but I'm doing some rearranging in the room that I'm usually filming in, and anyway, I'm trying to set up something that's going to be nicer long-term, but I'm really in transition, so I appreciate your patience. I'm doing a video on a house that I've been collecting that I have, let's see, I have 5 fragrances from, and the reason why I started collecting these fragrances are it ticks the 4 boxes, in my opinion, that make for a great perfume. Number 1, it smells good. Number 2, it's strong. Number 3, it performs and lasts a good long time. And number 4, it's not expensive. So when I get all 4 of those boxes ticked, that is the kind of perfume that I am all about, and that's what this channel is really going to be focusing on. And so I'm going to get started. The first fragrance that I have for you today, and this is from the house of Giorgio. This is the infamous or famous, depending on your opinion, Giorgio Beverly Hills. This is, if you can see the name on the bottle. Okay, so Giorgio Beverly Hills, I was in high school in the 80s, and this was one of the most popular, if not the most popular fragrance of the 80s. And I personally could not afford this kind of perfume, so I never wore it. But when I purchased it and sprayed it, I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. To me, this Giorgio Beverly Hills smells like you are in a convertible and you're outside in the summer and your hair is blowing in the wind, and maybe you're a young woman with a really good-looking guy and you're out. I mean, it's happy, sunny, floral beauty. This fragrance came out in 1981. The top notes include orange blossom, peach, apricot, bergamot. In the mid, we have tuberose, gardenia, ylang, jasmine, and orchid. In the base, oak moss, chamomile, amber, sandalwood, musk, and vanilla, among other things. This has a ton of notes in it. It's absolutely beautiful. If you like big, heavy florals, memorable florals, this is one that you're going to want to try. I got this bottle. It was just under $30, I believe. No, actually, it's less than that because this is just a 1.7. I think for the full 3 fluid ounces, you're going to pay probably $30, $35. This one was probably in the low 20s. This is an extremely well-balanced, very intense yellow floral. It's got a slightly herbaceous base to it, I would say. Very good quality. It's very interesting. It's just a fun, chic, sipping wine, mimosas on a summer day kind of luxurious, very luxurious fragrance that I highly recommend. All right, and so because I liked this one so much, I purchased the second one, and this one is called Wings. All right, so I'm going to move it here so you can see it. It's got a really kind of interesting bottle. It kind of is an 80s style bottle, but I would say it's not super dated. And none of these fragrances that I'm going to be presenting today, in my opinion, smell dated. I'm just going to, because I know the setup, I want you to be able to see the top. It's kind of got this aqua blue greenish top, and the bottle is kind of, I don't know if that's supposed to be like a woman's body, a little sensual, but it's kind of unique and interesting. Wings came out in 1992. It's a floral fruity fragrance. The top notes, among others, these are all loaded with tons of notes, so I'm not going to be able to cover all of them. This is lily, gardenia, osmanthus, marigold, rose, and in the mid, lilac, cyclamen, jasmine, heliotrope, orchid. In the base, musk, sandalwood, amber, and cedar. I would say this is a heavy on the heliotrope and orchid, in my opinion. It lasts 4 to 6 hours. It's moderately strong. It's not as strong as good old Giorgio, but it has a good sillage, a nice trail. This has been frequently compared to Calvin Klein Eternity. And I would agree with that only in the opening. In the dry down, it's really unique. In the opening, it's a real burst of white flowers, predominantly heliotrope, like I said, and then the dry down is slightly soapy, but it's a completely sugar-free fragrance. A little creamy, sandalwoody, musky in the dry down. Very, very pretty, actually. So if you like that kind of fragrance, very inexpensive, but lasts for hours. Highly recommend that. Next up, I have Giorgio Air. You can see the name of it there, Giorgio Air. I'll move it so you can see the whole thing. There we go, Giorgio Air. All right, so this one came out in 1996, and it's a little bit of a green version of Wings and Giorgio. It's kind of between these two, slightly greenish, but it's not like one of those green, like Chanel No. 19 greens. Not anything like that at all. This really is a white floral fragrance with green notes. So on the top, you've got green notes, peach, neroli, and bergamot. In the mid, tuberose, jasmine, lily of the valley, orchid. In the base, musk, a real, again, creamy sandalwood, vetiver, and civet. There's nothing animalic about this. There's nothing funky about this. These are all very easy wears. Not at all challenging, but very pretty, and they perform. And it's just unbelievable that you can get fragrances like this that are this inexpensive that perform this well. This probably lasts a minimum of 5 hours. In the heat, maybe more like 4. And this is often compared to Armani Acqua di Gio. It's a light floral clean, but non-soapy. It's got a light greenness, and all of them have kind of this creamy sandalwood base that's just absolutely beautiful. Again, easy wear. This is a very summery, it's not thick, not overpowering, but it has a nice presence. I picture this is something that I would wear out shopping if I was going to go for a walk on a nice sunny summer afternoon. Going to lunch with friends, this is a perfect wear for that. The next one that I have is actually still in the box. This one is called Giorgio Beverly Hills Blue. So I'm just going to open it up. Isn't that a beautiful bottle? Okay, Giorgio Blue. And this one is a floral fruity. And this is my favorite part about this is it's got a top note of hyacinth, but it also has guava mandarin in the top. In the mid, water lily, tuberose, jasmine, and in the base, it's a nice watery driftwood with musk, oak moss, and vanilla. The performance on this one is about 6 hours, which is really good for a aquatic, tropical kind of freshy scent. But it's very well balanced between the fruits and the florals. It's a great summer, spring fragrance. It's often compared, when I did some research on it, to Davidoff Cool Water. And I'll show you, I actually have Davidoff Cool Water. And I don't think these are anything alike. No, no, no. Now, Davidoff Cool Water is more of a pure, musky, watery scent. And on me, it lasts about 20 minutes. This beauty lasts for hours. It's much better performing, in my opinion. And you can get this for under, I'd say in the low 20s, definitely under 30 if you get it from the discounted sites. It's definitely more complex than Cool Water. It's very pleasant, longer lasting, but the best feature is the gorgeous hyacinth note. It performs best in the high heat. It's a bright aquatic, just a beautiful fragrance that I highly recommend. And I have one more. And this I just have a little mini bottle of. This is Giorgio Beverly Hills Red. All right, now what I'm going to say is that all of these fragrances that I have covered are very modern smelling, easy to wear. You're not going to smell dated. You don't, have to worry about wearing these now. Red, on the other hand, is a little more of a, what I would call a classic scent. And the reason I got just this tiny little bottle is because this was my mother-in-law's signature scent. And she wore the heck out of this back in the 90s, 80s, and 90s. This came out in 1989, so what I remember is her absolutely loving it. We would buy her bottles for Christmas, and she would use them up so quick that we just couldn't keep her in them. And I was really afraid that I wouldn't like it or that I wouldn't be able to wear it because it would remind me so much of her. However, when I got this, I don't know if it's been reformulated or if my memory is shot, but it's just a beautiful scent, and I plan, it's definitely full bottle worthy, and I'm going to be getting a full bottle of it. And it's a really unique, actually, and beautiful. So in the top it has cherry, which is very unusual, aldehydes, hyacinth, ylang, peach, osmanthus, and orange blossom. This has a ton of notes, by the way. I'm not even going to cover all of them. I just want to give you an idea. In the mid, carnation rose, tuberose, among many others. In the base, it's got everything. Oak moss, myrrh, amber, sandalwood, tonka, patchouli, vetiver. Oh, it just goes on and on. Vanilla cedar. Anyway, it's one of those kitchen sink fragrances that's got everything. But these are all very linear. This one morphs and it changes, and it's just absolutely beautiful. This little bottle I think I picked up for $3 or $4. I plan to get a full 100 ml, and that will probably run me in the mid-20s. This, believe it or not, is compared to Tom Ford Fleur de Chine and Dior Poison. Now, I've had Dior Poison. I don't agree. This is nothing like Dior Poison. I have never smelled the Tom Ford Fleur de Chine, so I cannot speak to that. It's very 80s. It's kind of dated. It's a spicy, warm, Dr. Peppery, spicy cherry amber. I think of this as a cherried amber. In my mind, that's what this is. And you can tell I haven't made a huge dent in it, but I have worn it very strong. This is a good 2 to 3 sprays, and you're good for a good 8 hours. Great for winter, cold weather. I picture this as a great sipping a cognac or a sherry by the fireplace in the winter. It's a, you know, kind of a ski lodge meets 80s career woman. And you can almost picture the shoulder padded suit that they were wearing in the 80s. In my opinion, it's very underrated, definitely full bottle worthy, and I do plan on picking it up. It's timeless and elegant, and once those aldehydes calm down in the opening, it's just this beautiful Dr. Peppery cherry amber. And if you like ambers, if you like scents like Ciara, you're definitely going to like this. Ciara, Taboo, and I would say those are much more dated than this is. This is just absolutely beautiful. I don't think it's technically a Chypre, but it probably is because it has that spiciness and then oak moss in the base. So anyway, these are my Giorgio perfumes. Please give this house a consideration, given the price, the longevity, and the strength of these perfumes. One bottle will last you a really long time, and between all of these scents, it'll take you all throughout the year. You have winter, summer, spring, summer, summer. In my opinion, this is summer, summer, spring, summer, winter, and you could wear, of course, any of these in the fall as well. So anyway, I really appreciate you watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.